I am Anthony from HaslageNet, and this video serves as the introduction to the basics of 3 different trading card games. 2 of these games have their roots in Wizards of the Coast, a company better known for Magic the Gathering. The other game ended up being licensed through Upper Deck Entertainment until an unauthorized card production scandal forced the license owners to take the game in-house. These games all have some commonalities, however. They each have had comic books and or manga, movies, television shows, toys, and video games made that were based upon them, and at the time of this video series recording, each are still going strong. When we return, we will discuss the trading card game basics of one of these games. You can find all of the basic information for each game in its instruction manual. The links will be included in each video's description. Welcome back, and with me we have Transformers, the trading card game, and like most anybody, at least my age, you came to know Transformers from the cartoon and loved the first movie and have been a fan ever since. And while all the Michael Bay movies have been great, I mean, frankly, Bumblebee was fantastic, the card game kind of just hits you back in the old days. And when they re-released like classic characters like Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Ironhide, and Red Alert, you're kind of like, yep, I'm going to play this game. So Wizards of the Coast, obviously with Hasbro, who owns Wizards of the Coast currently, we're like, hey, so Kaijudo didn't really work in the US, we no longer have Pokemon, let's create a new game, and here we are. And I'm going to go over the basics here, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of what the new stuff is, without going into a little too much, because I want you to be able to play the game. I want you to be interested in the game, and you can always find the rules online, which I will include a link in the description. So first off, this is a bot. This is Optimus Prime in his alt mode. As you can see, this is his attack, this is his health, this is his defense. And you can see some bot mode stats here, which is his health is always the same, no matter what form he's in. This is his attack and defense. And then this is an ability of some type. This is when you flip, you draw a card. You have to flip to this mode. These are some keywords. He's a leader, he's a truck, he's ranged. These are important in some other cards later on. If you transform him, you can transform one transform per turn. So as you see, his stats are 3 and 2, as it's on the other thing, and then of course you can see the alt mode 3 and 2 on the other side. They do differ. So he has bold 1, which says flip one more battle card when attacking. We'll explain what the battle card is in a few, which it's these cards hint. Okay. So leader and range keywords on this side. Little flavor text. He's the Autobot leader, and of course he's an Autobot. So here's the little Autobot icon, and you can. Oh yeah, and one more thing I should mention, these Transformers have levels, and they're on the alt form. This is from the starter, Autobot starter set, and Optimus is, at least in this form, is a level 7. And then of course, Bumblebee, Ironhide, and Red Alert are level 6, because a deck can only have 25 stars, or 25 levels of total Transformers. So you can mix and match. You can have as few or as many up to 25 as you want, as far as Transformers star levels are concerned. So as you see, there's Bumblebee, Ironhide, and Red Alert. Now I'm going to transform them all so you can see what their alts look like. And don't they look kind of familiar? These are just updated forms of. I mean, he looks kind of like a V-Dub. Looks like a Van a little bit. And he looks like a fancy race car. More or less what you expect from updated versions of these characters. I mean, Optimus Prime always looks like Optimus Prime, except in the movies from Michael Bay. But, so these are battle cards. So there are 4 types of battle cards. There's action, upgrade armor, upgrade utility, and upgrade weapon. So, oh, and I should point out, as you see in the top corner, these aren't relevant to the cards as you use them, but they're relevant to the cards as you draw them for attacking and taking damage. And I'll explain that in a sec. So, name of the card, And then the action is the type of card, and then this says draw 2 cards and put a card from your hand on top of your deck. So you take 2, you substitute 1, top of your deck. Easy stuff. Amplify Shield says, this is armor. So armor is attached to your Autobots or Decepticons or whatever Transformer. You can have one of each type of, and it says flip 1 more battle card when defending. I'll explain that mechanic later. Tough 1 means 1 card. If you see later cards, they'll say tough 1 and they won't give you an explanation, or say tough 2 or tough 3. It just means additional cards. Debilitating Crystal is a utility, says with its upgraded character attacks. Upgraded implies that it has cards attached to it. Return one of the defending character's upgrades to its owner's hand. So if you're fighting a Transformer with also upgrades, you can select a upgrade and say take that back. It'll help you if you're attacking and you know the ability will hurt you, so you get rid of it. Primary Laser is a weapon upgrade. This just adds +2 to the attack. So in the case of Bumblebee, if he was attacking, this +2 here would make him a +6, or 6 total I should say. So that's what that does. Very simple. There's also an option where if he was a shield type of card, that there would be a plus number for shield here, and then it would add in his defense whatever the difference is. So here's more or less here. Now the battle cards, when you attack, so you see there's bold 1, flip 1 more battle card when attacking, and then tough 1 more battle card when defending. So when you go to attack, you flip 2 cards. Now let's say I flip this card and this card and I'm attacking. That it says I'm going to get 3 more attacks. So I'm going to get 6 attack total if I'm attacking with Optimus. So let me remove these guys from the field so I can give you a little bit of a scenario. So Optimus is attacking Bumblebee. Now you would tap, I'm going to tap here. And so Bumblebee, his defense is 2, so typically he would take 3 damage, but the opponent also gets to flip 2 cards. He gets to flip 1 and 2, but because he got a white, he gets to flip 2 more. But don't forget, bold 1 means he gets to flip 1 more, tough 1 means he gets to flip 1 more. So then it goes on, okay, so let's say he got a blue. Well, he doesn't add anything, so he still gets to attack with 6. Let's say he got a orange. That don't add anything to his defense, so he has 3 defense. So he has 1 blue, 2 blue here, which is 3. And then he drew the 2 more, and maybe he didn't get any more blue. He's still 3, and he's still at 5, or 6, I should say. So that's this 3 damage Bumblebee's going to take no matter what. That is the basic math of this game. I typically recommend dice or something to keep track. They give you paper counters. They're not great. People lose them easily. Dice are the best way to go. Once the Transformers and any side of the field are entirely knocked out, the game is over. It's very simple. I compare it to kind of like a cross between Pokemon and Kaijudo, which both games were introduced into at least the United States by Wizards of the Coast, so that makes perfect sense. So these are Wave 1 cards. During the end of Wave 1, what's called Wave 1A, Wizards introduced Titans. So this is Metroplex, and Metroplex comes with 3 vehicles. I'm not going to show them here because this is getting into a more complicated thing. Again, if you want the deck, go buy it. This is actually a pretty fun deck to play. He has special abilities, and the goal of him is transform every turn. So you flip him back and forth, and as you do, and as it says down here, summon one of his 3 Transformers, because he has 35 health, but he's going to eventually get knocked out. So if you don't get those other Transformers out, if they're still not summoned, you lose the game. So that is an interesting new mechanic. So I'm going to put him aside. Then the next thing they introduced was a Guardian. This is Omega Supreme. Now this is part of Wave 2. And so if you know what, I'm going to do this real quick. If you look at the stats of these 2 guys, they're kind of close. The only difference is health. And Omega Supreme is, as you see, a bunch of other things. He's a spaceship, he's a tank, he's range, he's a guardian. He's a base, he's a city. So he's 25 stars. So, I mean, because this is how you start the game. You have to start with him. He's a full team by himself. His ability allows you to summon the other ones, allows you to break the rules. He is 19, so you could technically have another Transformer on the field at 6 stars. 5, 5, 5, 4. So that's how you get to 19 here. This is all 5s. So those are two interesting things they introduced. And then for Wave 2, Combiners. So, if you know anything about Pokemon and Magic, these cards are what's considered standard size. So these are double size cards. So they're basically 2 standard cards together. And I'm going to try my best to space them out properly. So what they did was on the front, I guess you can call this the front, both the bot mode and the alt mode, all their keywords, they just kind of shrunk everything down and fit them on half the size of the card. Because I'll show you, Bumblebee, the cards are the same size, everything's just shrunk down to the size of one of these. So you would fold, if you want to, you could fold them in half. I personally just use counters because I don't want to ruin the cards by folding them in half. People have split them in half by accident, and now you have 12 pieces instead of 6. My aerial bots right now are my active decks, so they're in cases. So once you meet certain criteria and you have an Enigma combination, in this case, you can take Mirage, Prime, Ironhide, Hot Rod, Sunstreaker, and Prowl to combine into a combiner, and it is like a puzzle. It's almost too big for the table here. So Optimus Maximus, Ultimate Defender. So down here he has 9 attack, 65 health, 1 defense. Even says he's combiner mode right here. Autobot. You can't see because again I kind of run out of screen. So let's see if I can scooch it up a little bit. There we go, a little bit. He's 46 stars, and when this battles, draw a card, then plan 1. You may put 1 card from your hand on top of your deck. So that is one big boy. Now let's compare him to the other ones. I mean, size-wise, he is wow, right? Just wow. But that is the news mechanic for Wave 2. And Wave 3 has been announced for June 2019, so this can be interesting to see. But Transformers is not a complicated game to learn, and if you love Transformers and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on the toys themselves to feel like you're playing with combiners, here you go. It's a fun game, and I mean, Pokemon and Transformers right now are my top 2 games. I just enjoy them immensely. There's a lot of similarities. Just ease of play alone. It's just different levels of challenge. The combiner aspect of it just took it to a new level. I thought my mind was blown Metroplex, but then combiners. Wow. So again, the information to check out the instructions is on the description below, and thank you for watching.
Thank you for checking out our content. Before you leave, please remember to click like and then subscribe. If you want to receive notifications, do not forget to enable them by clicking on the bell. Then afterwards, check out our social media at HaslageNet and our website at HaslageNet.